in the world. Welcome to session 21 of Gears of Erathis. I am your DM. I call myself Lord God DM or DM Hazard. Um, I am here with three other individuals. Go ahead and introduce yourselves. Casil.
My name is Cassell, and I play a human, and I am pretty fucking cool.
All right. Gleerock.
I am Guliok the Terrible, played by Mercury, Goliath Barbarian who has very much earned his name for a multitude of reasons.
And Sadakoi.
Sedekoi Steelen Frederick Alistair Redcliffe III. I am a Hexlock. That is also not my real character's name. It is just Sedekoi Steel.
Okay. Now that introductions are done, would anyone like to do a recap?
Well,
Oh boy. Oh
well,
boy. Did
yeah.
a lot happen.
At least a lot of action.
Yeah.
We explored.
I'll say my bits.
Yeah.
You can say your bits. From what I remember, at least. We were in the kind of desert, kind of temple-ish, kind of underground place. Pretty fucking spooky. Well, not too spooky because there weren't any dead bodies anywhere, and that really unnerves me. But my human eyes in the dark, for what I couldn't see and could see with thankful help of torches, were some murals on the wall about a fancy king with on a quest for clothing or some shit like that. Gleark knows more than that. He's some fucking big brain over here. But we're just exploring and find this. Sadakoi finds a kind of eatery room, like a dining room, and gets jumped by these three rust monsters. And battle ensures, fights happen. I have a moral lapse and kind of realize that wait, these things just want food, and one of them almost became like a dog to me, and we fucking murdered it, and now I'm like actually really sad. So I'm like, wait, what are we doing here? They just wanted some food,
That
and we
shield was
killed them.
not a frisbee.
It distracted him, and he was like a little puppy, and we fucking murdered him. I felt so bad. You can take the rest. I'm gonna start crying a little bit.
Yeah, so we are basically in the ruins of the capital city. I don't think I took note of the city name. However, the emperor was Auroch. He was a dragonborn who fought his
Dragonkin.
my apologies, who fought his way up from being um, a slave and basically led a rebellion, overthrew the previous emperor, and then led the empire to a significant amount of prosperity. Um, and we are very much following kind of, you could almost say, the footsteps of his history, seeing tapestries on the walls and such, and even encountering the underground gladiatorial combat rings, in which he spent and observed much action. Yeah, words. Words are not my friend today. He spent a lot of time there, both watching and presumably fighting at a younger point in time. Oh, yeah. From the gladiatorial ring, we ended up taking a branch and encountering what appears to be his tomb.
Also, we learned about, wrote down Thortok, who was a massive bullet with 6 legs that Orok defeated. Unrock defeated. And that was after we kind of looked at the ceiling where the pit was. We stole a whole bunch of jewels. Got some 4 large palm-sized rubies that still have a bit of magic left in them. We found our way to the VIP section, looted that, jumped down into the arena, and then we found a large, fancy-looking door, which we then entered and found a burial chamber that was, it looked like it was brand new, like it had never been touched. There was no dust, nothing, just a sarcophagus that looked brand new, some pillars and a mural that was impeccably drawn that none of us looked at. The sarcophagus was well made and timeless in its presence. Farron, our dragonborn fighter, decided to touch it, and as soon as he touched it, the doors sealed shut behind us, all the lights went out, and a voice said, "Who disturbs my slumber?"
It is
I'll have it be
our
put on the
Aladdin.
record that I tried to stop him from touching the tomb because I knew it was a bad idea. It was all his fault and not mine.
So here we are.
So, as the voice booms and echoes throughout this hall, the torchlight flails up even more brightly as its once dull reddish color turns to a tense blue as you're holding it in Gleelock in your hand. Um, it just illuminates the room. And the torch actually, what the light, what you see for the light, it's almost as if the room illuminates even more so, almost like it's just bright light, even though this torch is only meant for a certain amount of radius. And you all stand in front of a spectral dragonkin. He looks to be in his mid 30s. He's completely, like, he hasn't missed a day at the gym, completely ripped. And for where his horns would be alongside of his head where the ears should have been, one on the left side seems to be broken off, and they kind of come to like a ram point. His eyes is darting back and forth between you four and awaiting your answer.
Sadakoi is pointing at Farron and going, "That's the dragon guy. He disturbed your slumber." Oh man, the air in here, and he grabs his shirt and kind of airs it out a little bit, like, man, geez, what's going on? It's just, oh man, this place is so clean. He's just kind of looking around the scene, just completely ignoring the fact that there's a giant dragon in front of him.
As
We are adventurers and have encountered your resting space. We have thought to pay our respects.
make a persuasion check.
I was afraid you were going to have me do that. Persuasion +0. 10.
He
To be
narrows
fair,
his.
I would say it's truth to Gleeok.
Okay,
But yeah,
that's why it wasn't deception. The specter narrows his eyes as he listens to you and says, "Pay respects, you say. Then you know of my history,"
Some.
he adds.
Much has been lost to time. It is preserved through the ancestral stories of my tribe of the barbarians, or the Goliaths.
Goliath, you say. Which herd you belong to?
Did we ever pick a name? Was it Thunder something?
I have to look back in my notes.
I thought I had written it down, but for some reason I didn't, or at least I don't have it.
Give me 1 moment. I have it written down too, but this was a long time ago.
My apologies for not having written that down. I should have.
Shame on you.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Minus 50 DKP.
Let me flip to my backstory, yeah.
There you go. The Thunderfist.
Thunderfist. That sounds about
Mm-hmm.
right. That was the purple and
Mm-hmm.
nomadics, more wisdom oriented.
Hoyt.
I will relay accordingly. We are the nomadic Thunderfist herd.
Mhm. He looks questionably at you. Never heard of him. What year is this?
I presume we know, but as players, I at least don't know.
Sadakoi
I have
throws
no
out.
idea here it is.
Sadakoi throws out some arbitrary number from the year that he knows.
Which, when he does, it throws Casil and you off because you never heard of that month or year, and the other guy questions it too for a split second. But at this point, he's kind of ignoring the elf.
And I go, right? That's the year, right, guys? Why is everybody?
No.
I mean,
I'll say
Gleok
the year
appears
also.
to have, shall we say, more localized origins. Can I get a check on what year that is?
Yeah, you basically say, I gotta write down how I'm doing this. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I told you guys at the beginning. I just
I think you did also.
but that's okay.
It might have
You
been
guys,
before I joined, so.
yeah, it definitely was. But yeah, you throw out the number and you see a little shock come into this person's this specter's face, and he goes, "It's wow, 30,000 years."
30. What?
As I said, much has been lost to time.
So, as the voice kind of almost echoes throughout your whole bodies as it's just booming, you know my history. And he kind of goes alongside the mural, right? And it starts off to where he's basically risen up, and he asks, "Please tell the story," as he's first starting from the first part.
Oh, okay. Um, Would you like me to just kind of roll this?
I mosey up to Cassell and I say, I think he wants to know about how he got his sweet clothes.
I'll recount what I know of the tales.
Okay.
How he was a slave and led the rebellion, and fill in what details that at least I observed within the tapestries in the main corridors. And if I spot any, can I roll a perception to spot any details that I might not have been familiar with on the tapestries here?
I want
Sure.
to help him by taking keywords that he uses from the story and the things that I've picked up from the story, apart from Sadakoi's silliness. Seriously, seriously, he is recounting what he has learned from what Gliak has said and from what he has taken from the murals, and keywords that Gliak says when he recites his the tale. Sadakoi is going to use like a minor illusion to kind of like bolster the storytelling of Gliak.
Perfect.
Add in some visualization. I got an 11 on a history. Do you want me to roll anything else?
No, that should be good. With
Okay.
the Spectre is a little bit impressed by the display and how some accuracies and throughout the time you're telling this tale, you see a change in his demeanor as he like corrects you at certain points, as like he would say he would almost mumble to himself that yes, he would say something along the lines was, yes, it was, I had help by uh my fellow comrades, and it would be like he's like reminiscing. And then as you guys are going along through this mural, you're you go to the point where it shows him being like prosperous, and it seems like he's on top of the world.
And one thing that I would like to do is add some, shall we say, Goliath barbarian flair when it comes to mentioning his martial prowess and military might,
Yeah.
as well as being a great leader. I would like to flare that up just a little bit,
Okay. Perfect.
flatter him,
He
so to speak.
It might go a long way. As he's watching you bolster his accomplishment, you see a sense of pride come to his face, and he smiles. And as you finishes to the part where he's literally the emperor of this great nation. You guys go to part of the mural, the last part of it, and he's staring in front of it for a good minute. What's weird about this mural is that it's shifting, like it's almost as if there's a invisible shield going on top of it, laying on top of it, and the images are very, very distorted. And he turns and he asks you, "How did it end?" Questionably, as he asks that.
Do I know?
Make You're gonna have to make a history check.
Okay. It looks like I was partially paying in class that day. 12.
12. Yeah, it does not come to mind. The tales usually end with his triumph over that creature.
Gotcha.
I would like to make a deception.
What are you deceiving?
he perks up and he says, "I know how this story ends."
He turns at you and lifts his he lifts his eyebrow.
I walk across the sarcophagus, just tracing my hands along it. Do I see any kind of imagery that may kind of give me an idea of how venerated or special he was? Was this burial ceremonial? Was it to seal him? Does it look like the people who put him here cared deeply for him and they were sad that they had to bury him? It's anything like that?
Yeah, go ahead and make an investigation check.
One thing that I do want to do as just kind of a meta note is I want to pay keen attention to the corrections that he had provided. Because out of respect, I would relay that back to my tribe from what I've learned.
He
15.
mentioned. All right. I'm going back to Gleark
Yeah,
real
yeah, I can
quick.
wait. I can wait.
He mentioned a general named Tordok.
That was the giant beast?
No, Tordok.
Ah, Tordok.
It was a general. He kept on mentioning him. It's like almost as if it was his like loyalist best friend.
But he is not familiar to the stories?
What do you mean? Like it's not familiar with the stories, what you get been passed down to you, but he would mention it ever so often as you describe like how vast his armies were, and he would say, yeah, it was all because of this this friend of his. And he would also mention his betrothed, which was named. I have the name right here somewhere. Give me a second. Sorry. I lost my book. Oh my god. Sorry. Give me a second.
It's okay.
While I'm looking for that, the sarcophagus itself is actually well made. Like it wasn't hastily made. Like the detail on the sarcophagus, and it's almost like a split image from his specter form. Of course, the specter is kind of like moving in and out of reality as he's talking to you guys, but it's like near perfect, and the detail on the the sarcophagus itself, the basically what's it called? I know it's called sarcophagus, but the stone working of the top of the sarcophagus is like pure perfect.
Like a I guess you could call it a facade.
Yeah.
I would inquire further at the name of what he can provide of the details. I don't know if the general stands out. Then I'm curious.
Of it standing out.
Yeah, it stands out as a significant element that apparently has been lost to the ages.
Yeah.
I would ask if you could tell us more.
Okay. I got the name. I found it. It's Shino. That was his betrothed. And whenever he's and it's actually in one of the murals how he was from uh, from a rival tribe, they wanted to marry into it so that they could be powered, just like a typical monarchy.
Mhm.
But as you inquire more about this general, it seems like he's telling you different things. Like his emotions are wavering up and down. It's kind of it's weird. He would say at one point he would say he was the most loyal friend he ever had, and then again he would kind of like go into a low but he never would listen to what I have to say. It's weird how he's trying to get this character in play. And as you finish that,
Can I
okay,
make an investigation check to see if that kind of correlates with fluctuations on the one changing tapestry?
oh sure,
I rolled a 3.
yeah, you can't discern if anything's happening with the tapestry. All right, Sadakoi, how did the tale finish? I would like to know.
Just as a quick note, Thor Talk was defeated, right? Like he was killed. The
Onra,
bullet.
yes.
Okay. Here we go. Unrock. Your story has been passed down. Kliak knows it well. I, however, know how it ends. Read quite a few books myself. I've heard this tale spoken secretly amongst some of the barkeep, just in passing. However, but I would say to you the truth. Your tale ends magnificently, fit for the true battle master, champion, leader, liberator, and altruistic hero that you were. Your people were better for the way that you ended. They were better for your leadership. And unfortunately, that civilization was lost to time. But great care was placed into your burial. And while your fortress may be gone, clearly, and I look around and I point to everything, clearly, this place holds some significant importance. And sure, they may be gone, but your legend, your power is still very present in hearts and minds. And clearly, that shows in this room, in this sarcophagus. And we are honored to speak with you.
He looks at you for a second and gives a hearty, echoey laugh. No, that's not how it ended.
That's what I heard. I stand up and I like kind of fist aside like somebody told me that I can't play with their game. Like that's what I heard. That's the story that I know.
Guys, I'm super scared right now.
You say that in character.
Yeah, like honestly, like just I'm still kind of humbled in the corner, just like guys, this is still fucking freaking me out. I don't like this.
I was cowardly poisoned. From who? I do not know. but maybe. He looks around at the four of you, and he's waving his hands almost as if he is. Oh, who did we lose? Someone join us?
I think that was one of your friends from the other game.
Oh. He's waving his hands almost as if he's casting a spell. As the sigils outline peer up, you guys feel. I need you all to make a. What would it be? I'll say wisdom saving throw.
You want it in chat or is that out loud?
Chat. Or both. Whatever. Nice.
12.
Okay. I forgot Dave was with you. He's probably shitting bricks at this point.
Yep.
Everyone sees this as the incantation finishes, and you see Dib like kind of go into a what's it called? A largestic blah 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 blah. And almost I can't pronounce it. He just almost in a trance. He's walks behind past you guys, and you see him enter the wavy portion of this tapestry and disappears.
For anyone listening that doesn't know, Dib is our wrestling goblin who, long story short, we did not kidnap. He agreed to come with us. And he is my mini. Also, what the fuck? That's in character.
Sadakoi, you just go blank. And everyone else sees this for a split second. It's like each of you is having this intense headache. But then you, Gleerock, and Casil see the same effect going towards you see Sadakoi do the same thing and heading towards the mural.
Wait. I'm gonna try to hold onto his arm to pull him back from not going inside the mural.
You wanted me to hold on, Sadakoi? What's going on?
When he was talking,
I lost.
There he is.
What happened?
Void in me.
You're breaking in and out.
I lost voice for a minute. What happened to me?
Oh, you did the same thing as what happened with Dib. You saw Dib enter, and then moments later, that's what happened. And at this point, you don't feel, or you're basically unconscious.
Good to go.
And right now, Casil is trying to grab on to prevent them from going in.
DM question.
DM answer.
Do I want to go into the picture?
You lost consciousness.
Okay, got it. I was just getting that for an RP standpoint.
hmm Roll. Actually, this might be interesting. Casil, go ahead and make a. Are you trying to grab him?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make a strength check as you grab onto him because that's pretty easy to do. Um,
Oh, natural 20.
okay, you have him held into place, but he's pushing forward. I need you, Sadakoi. Make a percentile check. And high or low?
Low.
Okay, go ahead and roll that.
70.
Oh. Okay. Perfect. Oh. Give me a second. I gotta do something really quick because interesting things just come up. What did you roll, Glee Rock?
12.
Okay. Oh, you rolled a 12, so technically it should have been you. At this point, Glee Rock, again, you boom, go into a catatonic state, and you basically just black out instantly, almost like you got knocked out, which is typically hard for someone to do. At this point, Casil, you look over and you see the hulking Goliath walking over.
No, 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 no. Okay, I'm gonna do one arm kind of looped around Tadakoi, and then the other arm trying to loop around Gliok's arm to kind of like keep them both from moving. You want me to roll a strength check for that one also?
Yes.
Ooh, ooh, these dice are hot tonight. It's a not natural, but 20.
Jesus Christ. Really? Awesome. You are, for some fucking reason, able to hold on to these individuals, but at this point, you're make a Constitution saving throw as you're starting to get exhausted from it because you got a hulking Goliath pulling you, and also this elf pulling you.
That's gonna be a 14.
A 14? Okay, you're holding strong, and you see um the king look at you for a second, and he goes, "Interesting. Could have sworn my advisor made that spell more powerful. Hmm.
What did you do to them?
They need to figure out the truth."
You you could have just also asked.
He looks up for a second. You're right. I could have. Huh. and a confused look.
Kings don't
It's
need
been
to ask.
this is just more easier.
What's wrong with them though? Why do they want to go to this fucking mural?
To find the truth.
Well, is it safe?
Are you saying you might not come back? You might perish? I don't know.
If we find out the truth, will you let us go? Safe.
You have my word as a king.
I can't shake your hand because you're kind of not corporeal, but a word is as good as your handshake. I'm gonna let go of their arms and follow behind them.
Alrighty. You are enveloped, since you resisted the spell, Casil. You are enveloped in this almost warmth as you see time shift. It's a weird feeling. It's like a little bit of a warmth, almost like a warm hug surrounded you. But it's almost like, and from a split moment, as like it's starting to speed up really quick, it feels like you get punched in the stomach and you just have this gut wrenching, like almost you want to throw up. And eventually you hear, as your vision goes black, you hear sounds of a crowd roaring. As you open up your eyes, you're in the stands.
Sir, what you're
You
saying?
look around.
So what you're saying is he gave us a Xanax, and Sadako just had to bear with it.
Yes. If you want to put it that way, yeah. You're looking around and you see the crowd cheering on as you hear the sound of a beast roar echoing through this chamber, and you are inside of the stands, the arena. You're looking around and you see all these dragonkin in different old, almost like Egyptian garbs, clothes that they're wearing, like. And you look around for a bit and then you look at your hands and you notice that your hands look a little bit different. You seem to be a little taller and you have scales on different parts of your skin, and you go to like feel your face and your hair is different. Everything's different. And you feel the side of your head and you feel these hard scales, these horns protruding from where your ears should be.
I want to look to my left and right. Do I see other dragonkins cheering, or are they kind of out of it, like they're just been drugged
No,
or
they're
on a
cheering.
spell?
They're cheering.
So am I just alone in the stands with just cheering people around me?
You're in the stands and you have a couple of these dragonkin right next to you, as if the seating arrangement, like if you're at a baseball game.
Yeah.
That's basically it. And you're looking around and you look down and you see um in the pit a another dragonkin. He's hulking and taller than all the rest. Um, and he it looks like he's battling. Maybe you're not sure if it's make a nature check.
You got it, fam. Oof. Hell yes. That's gonna be a negative -3 on there. It's gonna be a 6.
You have never seen this creature before. It is a six-legged lizard-like beast that is kind of almost encircling this other dragonkin. You're still a little bit dazed and confused.
Can I quick bite my tongue to deal or to see if I feel pain or to see if I'm like in a dream and like wake up from the pain?
Roll yeah, okay. Take 1 point of piercing damage
Okay.
as you feel pain.
Holy shit. Okay, he said we need to fucking I need to oh fuck, where's Sadako and where's Gleerock? I'm gonna stand up and do a look around me to see if there's anyone acting differently than the cheering crowds.
Gleerock,
Hmm.
your vision is pure white as you don't know exactly what happened to you back in the chamber. And then you hear an audible sound of a roaring beast. You blink your eyes open for a bit, and standing in front of you is this creature. You take a chance to look around. You feel the ground of on under your feet, and it's soft like sand. And you look around, and you takes you a few moments to realize, how did I get in the pit?
Honestly, this is Gleok we're talking about. I think this is more my reaction. Which is to say,
Yes.
Thor just going nuts in Thor Ragnarok when he's in the arena against the Hulk.
Perfect.
Yes!
Do you give that sound? Do you just let it out?
Sure.
All right. You let out this loud yes. Finally, a beast worthy of my talents. Um, Alongside of you, you are basically unarmed. But alongside of you, you see a whole bunch of different weapons. Some of them are broken. Some of them are intact. I'm gonna have you roll initiative as
Okay.
we go.
1 second, my cat's getting out of my lap because
No problem.
I'm rolling dice and she doesn't like my hand moving.
Like all cats.
Yeah, 16 for initiative.
16. All right, we're holding on to that because this is gonna get interesting.
Indeed.
Okay. Sadakoi. You wake up and you appear to be inside of being pushed along this corridor. There's quite a bit of people around you, and it looks like you see different all these different um Now this is interesting. These humanoid
Sorry.
individuals looking around. You haven't really seen these species before, but they're humanoid in nature and they have scales in different parts of their regular skin. And it feels like you're being pushed along um into this area, like as if you're going to see something. You hear off into the distance this loud yes, really loud and like almost in draconic. And you're able to understand it, which is weird. Um you for a split moment you take a look at your hand and you're not it's not dark. It's not dark skin. It is you're a pale white and your hands look feminine and more normal, but you see the different scales almost as if, I mean, once you take a split second to look around and to see the rest of the anatomy of these um, humanoids, you immediately feel your head and you feel these almost like winged horns that kind of protrude from where your ears should be. And yeah, the scales on your skin are um a white silvery color. And you guys are being pushed into this hallway and well, not you, but Sadako, you're being pushed into this hallway and eventually you hit out into this open arena and you take a look around. Did he say something? Oh
didn't.
no. Your mic is broken.
Oh, we lost
I didn't
him.
hear it.
You broke Kissel.
Not Cassell, Sadakoi.
Oh, Sadako.
Yeah. That was describing Sadakoi.
I'm the guy in the stands.
Sorry.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi there.
Okay, sorry. I'm just going to go ahead and say that that headset is not great for this. Okay, so here we go. Disgusting. So pale. Why is it so pale?
You are currently feeling a bit annoyed. As in, why are these people touching me? Why am I being pushed through this?
Your hands off me.
You see a couple of bystanders look at you questionably, but just ignore you because of how many people are around.
I push my way past them to get as much personal space as I can.
Got it. Eventually, it funnels out into this arena, and that's what you see.
Am I healed being in this dream state? Or
Yep.
Shall we say painted world state?
Yep.
Also, my question, I suppose, should next be what armaments do I have?
Armaments? You are
Or lack
like,
thereof.
yeah, basically you don't have any armaments. You are bare chested. and it's like the battle just started as you see these two guards holding, or these two like beastmasters holding the creature at bay, and it's kind of snapping at them, and you see them let go, and they turn and hightail it to the back, and that's when your combat's basically going to start.
Yeah, okay. Are there any alterations to my character in this form?
Other than having a tail, and you are kind of, your main focus right now, I'm guessing, would have been that beast. At
Oh
that
yeah,
point,
no,
you're just like,
I'm probably not
yes,
terribly cognizant of
yeah,
any form change. I'm just wondering if I need to account for anything role wise or whatnot.
no, it's basically you, but you're no stats alterations, nothing.
Okay.
And we move. So this is what's going to happen. I just want to give you guys a heads up. Basically, the camera is going to be shifting from you guys constantly. So right now we're shifting it back to Casil.
Okay, okay. Um, do the look around, and everyone's just cheering around me. There's no one acting weird or like everyone's just having a happy, fun old time.
Yep. It seems to be in the norm.
Okay. I'm gonna be freaking out, of course, because I don't really, because I'm just the nervous type. I'm like, okay. I'm gonna look up because I know up in somewhere is where the king sits, because he has his stance up in the where we were at one point.
Yep. You see Unrock peering down at this magnificent display of a beast versus man, or dragonkin versus beast. And right to the side of him, it looks to be a female, very very beautiful for dragonkin standards. um she has almost like that Egyptian haircut, you know how it's like straight bangs, long black hair. Her horns come to a point. um her ear horns come to a point, and she has her scales are almost like, it looks unique, but she's sitting next to him on the right, has a smile on her face, and it looks like she's sipping a glass of a goblet of some sort.
Okay. I'm gonna
Standing
try
to
and
the
push my way. Oh, I'm sorry. Keep going.
stand, standing to the left of him is this uh, older looking dragonkin. He's kind of hunched over with a hood over his head. His horns actually pierce through his hood, and he's wearing this black robe, and looks like he has a long beard that kind of goes down to the chest as he's a little bit hunched over, and he's holding this staff. The staff is, it looks to be have a, it's a silver staff that on the top of it, it looks like a silver dragon is kind of perched on it with its wings flutter out. And yeah, that's who you see right next to him. It's hard to make any more details other than that.
Okay. Um, I'm gonna try and push my way through the crowd. Not really being too polite, not really saying excuse me too much, but I need to make my way to the hallway to where we were creeping about at that one point that I know eventually leads up to the king's quarters.
Okay. So you walk um around the bend, and um you head up to the north side, And as you're walking up, because people are funneling in, like they want to see the show, but they move to the side for you and are letting you through because this is like the only way in and out. Basically, it's kind of like in Japan where there's a typical stay to the left, kind of like that. So they kind of shuffle their way out because people are coming in and out at the same time. But as you're walking to this, you see your eye catches someone. Stop with the memes, damn it. uh, you
Sorry.
at the corner of your eye, you see this individual, this pale female dragonkin, and she's like looking about, almost disgusted at like certain of these creatures walking by her, and she's kind of like away from everyone else, and it she seems familiar to you. At this point, to Murkai, I gotta pull up some stats because I forgot to do that. Give me a second.
Goody goody.
Uh, and it's going first because it rolled a natural 19.
Gotcha.
So how's everyone doing?
So I have no weapons on me. I have to pull whatever I need from the nearby rack,
I'm fucking
Exactly.
excited.
which is how far away?
Currently, so I'll give you that. It's about the creature is at least 40 feet away from you.
Okay, and how far away are the weapons?
The weapons are about there's a couple of them that are 5-10 feet away from you. So
Okay,
you have basically your pick.
gotcha.
And they're usually either from winners or losers, You know the deal. Uh,
Can I spot a couple of, I suppose, battle axes or maces?
you see a few
Okay,
that are close by.
I'll aim for a couple of battle axes, just so I can like work off of what's on my character sheet.
Got it. Alrighty. So,
This is an impressive creature, yes?
oh yeah,
Then I'll dual wield.
it's a very impressive creature. Ooh. Which you should be okay. Should. It's not like I improv this. Nah, I knew what I'm doing all along. Alrighty. Uh, as the creature kind of snaps back, at its um captors, it actually grabs one of them and flings him off to the side. And as he's like ragdolling across, you see he almost instantly turns to stone and smash across the one of the side of the walls and shatters into billions of pieces.
This being something I observed.
Yep.
Um,
And it turns and looks at you and starts heading towards you.
okay. Did it
But it
seem like the action of the bite turned him to stone? Or that,
um
he was
make
killed
make
and turned to stone?
make a either an animal handling or survival check, whatever's higher. Because you're no fool to these type of creatures, and you've probably seen them before. You're just more excited that you're fighting something.
11. Survival.
11 survival.
Yeah.
You can't discern if it was the bite or maybe it's blue piercing eyes.
Got it. It's a fucking giant basilisk, isn't it?
You want to see a picture of it?
Yeah. Let's see it.
Oh, fucking Christ.
Gotcha. Let me see if I can quickly. Open, copy. Let's get this into my D&D folder. I really need to make better shortcuts for handling my recording software with this, but
It's fine. We're starting out. It's okay. We're we're able to make mistakes. We're gonna look at back this about 10 years and laugh at how shitty we were after being all famous and stuff, going to Gen Cons and shit like that. Right?
Oh, you know it.
I
Oh my.
well, we need
Oh
to get you starting to record your own. You record your sessions
yeah.
when possible. That way, if I'm not here, it can keep going.
Hoi.
There we go.
Yeah.
Boink.
We'll get all set up once I get to my new duty station. But anyways, let us go. As it moves, it rushes 20 feet. It seems the creature seems a little bit sluggish, and it moves 20 feet in front of you. So it's just out of reach of its ability, one of its abilities.
Yeah, okay. And so that's its action.
That's its action. You're up.
If I have spotted multiple battle axes, I will grab them. Does that take an action, or can I move forward and attack?
It will take an action to pick those up because it's kind of like this is kind of the setup for it, and it takes you 5 feet of movement to pick up these. The battle axes are actually they're decent, good weight. You like these, and then you turn to your opponent, and so right now you have a bonus action and a movement. The rest of your movement.
Okay. Well, there's not really much that I can really do as a bonus action except for rage.
You as you revved up and go into the raid, the crowd is cheering, and Cassell, with your perception, you recognize that roar, and you're like, it can't be. Alrighty.
Oh no.
Next
Oh
round will
yeah.
be do you move closer to it?
Um. Yeah, I want to charge and get closer to it. I think I want to see if I can circle around it, make it, disoriented, or see if I can keep on its flank.
Okay.
Here's Gleok's thought process. It has 8 legs. If I can take out the middle legs, its dexterity, like its ability to pivot around or do anything like that, is going to be severely hampered. Not to mention that's like the hardest spot for him to attack from.
Okay. So you're facing away from its mouth. You're kind of like
Yeah,
next to its side. You're trying to aim for its side.
if I can get between the middle legs,
Okay.
I think that would be the sweet spot where he's happy.
Got it. All right. Now we going to its turn. Alrighty. The creature sees you kind of go along its side. It's gonna make a bite attack at you.
AC of 15.
Oh yeah, that hits. You take ooh, ooh. I'm gonna actually roll for these. You take 8 points of piercing damage. I'm not having these yet. So 4 points of piercing damage,
Just tell me the raw numbers. I'll have it. That way we stay consistent about it.
The raw numbers? Okay, got it. Plus an additional 9 points of poison damage. And it shifts its body and it's just staring at you.
Yeah, okay. So it's pivoted around face to face.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And it's going to end its turn. At the beginning of its turn, since it's face to face to you, you need to make a Constitution saving throw.
At the beginning of its or mine?
If a creature starts its turn within 60 feet of this creature, and you two could see each other, the creature forces you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, so it's on my turn. Got it.
Yep.
20.
Oh, Jesus Christ, you're fine.
I have a plus 6.
You feel yeah, you feel a stiffness come from your legs, but it just washes away pretty instantaneously. You're up.
Okay. I am going to attack with both weapons. I've got a 16 and an 18 to hit.
16 and 18 both hit.
Okay. That would be 20 points of damage between the two of them.
Are you kidding me?
I rolled a 6 and an 8, and I've got plus 6 damage because I'm raging.
Yep.
Plus 6
Cool story,
plus
boy.
6 instead of plus 4.
Cool story, bro. Okay. Nice.
So I hack, like, I'll say, actually, being as it's turning to face me and it was able to pivot around, I'm gonna go for the eyes.
Okay. Cool. Sadly, it wasn't the a natural 20 would have been able to blind the creature.
Okay.
But you just one after the other, you go across the eyes, making a nice deep wound from each side of its face as it's turned left and right with the dual axes. You hear the crowd cheering as you make a good amount of damage come from it.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, 30. Okay.
And believe me, I have a grin on my face the entire fucking time. Just, yeah!
I like it. Casil. Oh wait, I already did Casil. Sadakoi.
If I might interrupt very briefly to make
You
a
may.
note, the fact that I went straight for dual weapons instead of a two-handed weapon, kind of emphasizes the excitement. Like, I'm gonna use everything I've got on this. I'm that impressed by the monster.
Nice. All right. Sadakoi. You're kind of almost trying to avoid any more contact with these humanoids, and you see one particular one, and he seems familiar to you. You can't put your finger on it though, but it looks like he stops and he turns to look at you, but then he hears the sound of a inhuman roar coming from the thing, and he looks back for a second, then looks back at you.
She's smart. So she walks up to him, kind of like sliding, like, "Ugh, don't touch me," like across from the other scaly dragonkin. And I snatch this person who looks familiar up to me. I say, "Deb, is that you?"
No, no, it's not me. I'm not Deb. Is Dib here?
Shit.
Yep, it's me, the guy who always throws a fucking wrench in the machine.
No. I know where Dib's at.
Okay, good.
I got now. I do. Now I know where he's at. You'll probably meet him later.
For DM, I guess no, I'll take RP flavor. Can I roll an intelligence check with you know whose general intelligence to discern if she kind of knows what's going on?
Sure. I'll allow it.
I rolled. Would this be a skill or just straight intelligence?
Straight intelligence.
15.
15. That she has. You have a discern that you think you got teleported to the past.
I look at this scaly figure in front of me. And I say, God, as if one body isn't fucking enough. And I push him away, and I start saying, Dib, where are you?
Wait. Sadakoi, is that you?
Don't touch me. Dib!
Sadakoi, what's going on? Fucking, we were back in the tomb, and we walked into this fucking portal, or we walked into the mural. Now we're Dragonkin. Things. Gliok's down there fighting a fucking thing. You're a woman. What? What's happening?
Ignoring him, I just keep calling out for.
No answer.
I hiss under my breath and start just searching the crowd. I'm pushing bodies out of my fucking way, like not even trying to be polite, like move, Dab, and I'm just calling Dib out.
You see your companion rush off looking for his goblin companion, and his demeanor is like not as carefree and silly as usually what you're used to. It's more aggressive and angry.
Okay, Sadakoi's having one of his moments. This is a really bad time for one of those moments. What about Farron? Where the fuck's Farron? Ah, shit. I'm just gonna. I don't like Sadako when he gets like this. When Dad gets angry, he gets angry. I don't want him to accidentally hurt me. I'm gonna keep going, making my way towards where the that hallway was.
Okay. Oh boy. All right, I'm gonna count that as Sadakoi's turn. You're heading down south, Sadakoi, correct? Looking for Div throughout the arena and shit like that, but pushing people out of the way.
Hi.
Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Casil, you are heading up towards this hallway, and eventually you make it to the second room that you guys enter, and this place looks magnificent. It's not wear or tear with age. It looks like it's been upkept, like it's yeah. And you see off into the corner of these areas, you see actually like almost like a like different places of different types of food, different types of basically what's the word I'm looking for, souvenirs and stuff like that. And different knickknacks and stuff like that. But eventually, and you're looking for the other hallway, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And as you head towards that area, you notice that there's a guard sitting in standing in front of the doorway, and he, as you approach him, you see him talking to another person, and it looks like a someone with high, like, and it looks like a person, he's like put blah blah. It looks like he's of a noble. He looks like a noble, so it looks like he has a bunch of jewelry and stuff like that, and he has another female dragonkin around his shoulder, and it looks like they're having a quick conversation, and the guard steps to the side and lets him pass.
Noticing that, I want to look down at my own vestments. How do I look?
You basically have almost of that of the common folk.
Okay. And also, side note, I totally forgot that I am a fucking idiot, and I can't like RP good plans and strategies because I'm not that smart to do that.
You have good wisdom, though.
That's true. We had the whole discussion last fucking session.
Yeah, let's not do 2.0.
Okay. Um. Shit. Um. Are there trays with food and or drinks where I am at?
Yeah, there's a couple of stands.
All right, I'm gonna take a tray and like hold it and put some drinks on it and food and walk up towards the guard.
Um, he immediately steps in front of you after he's let this other looks to be older dragonkin female just walking back in, and he looks at you and goes, "What you want?"
Ah, hail. Hi. Just one, seeing if you need any refreshments. I know standing guard duty during one of the most exciting events of the fucking day sucks. So here, some free food, some wine, some drink. I won't tell if you won't tell that there's a little bit alcoholic there, but here you go, my friend. And I'm gonna kind of push the, or not push the tray towards him, but like kind of move the tray towards him a little bit.
He looks at you, um, and he goes. He says, "Are you trying to bribe me?"
No, I'm just, I'm actually just asking if you want anything. I know being on guard duty sucks. Here, here's some snacks and some drink, friend.
I don't need any.
Well, that's very honorable of you. Um, mind if I just kind of bring the tray up like I'm supposed to towards the VIP area because they're kind of waiting for these snacks also.
Make a deception check.
All right. My deception's it's okay. All right. That's not okay actually. Okay. That's gonna be a solid 4.
Oh yeah. You're noticing that it was a good idea, because you've through watching the flow of this, you do see individuals with trays and snacks and shit go towards this area, but they look to be in a like a almost like a uniform, almost like a they have kind of like a blue poncho around them. Like it's a yeah, it's a dark bluish poncho.
Mm.
With that, we go to We Rock.
Yes.
Alrighty. It is the beast's turn as you did a shit ton of damage to it. It across its face, you see the scars from the battle axes, almost kind of like it doesn't hit the eye, but you see kind of like it has a cool scar now, and
It has a cool scar.
yeah. It then again does the same thing and makes a bite attack at you because that's all it could do.
Yeah, okay.
That definitely hits. Ooh, 6 plus 3, 6, 9. You take 12 points of piercing damage. Ooh, and 11 points of poison damage.
Okay, I will Stone's Endurance the piercing damage.
Okay, go ahead and roll for that.
Completely negated.
Oh, 12, nice. That's what I'm talking about. You've
Well, it's sorry. 5 plus 4, but it's halved. So, do you want the Stone's Endurance to take place first or after?
it could take place after.
If it takes place
You
after the rage reduction, that's a complete negation.
Yeah, that's fine. That's how it's supposed to work.
Okay.
You barely feel the puncture, but you still feel the poison kind of courses through your veins
Just like
as
sears
it
the skin.
yeah, it sears the skin basically, yeah. But you don't feel the puncture of the sound, and you could swear you hear the sound of teeth breaking.
Gotcha. And what was the damage on the poison again?
11. And remember, you have to have it because you are bear totem.
Yep, and round it up.
Height.
Yep, so I'm at 41 hit points. Okay, my turn.
Yep, your turn.
I will, being as it has tried to latch onto my arm, I will use 1x to basically uppercut it in the jaw, and then I'll use the other to try and slice its throat.
Got it.
And I dropped one of my attack rolls. Oh, that's embarrassing. Oh, by the way, my Constitution save was a nat 20.
Okay. Cool. That's fine.
So
You know.
the uppercut is a crit.
Oh.
So let me roll another damage die here, and that was also my first attack, which was my main hand. Which, yeah. So the uppercut does 9 plus 6 damage, so 15 damage.
Okay.
The throat cut was a nat 1. And the damage was 1.
Okay. Well then. Okay, with that you basically do a uppercut, and you weren't expecting how much strength you put into it. So the creature actually like does like a backflip and like lands on its head and deals its damage.
And I just kind of like follow through with the other attack anyway.
Yeah, it's just like whoosh. And at that point it as its head it's almost buried into the sand. It's going to do its berserk action since you got it past its half health already. It's
Now,
going to
question: is that a reaction? Because
it's
its turn is passed.
its turn is passed, but usually whenever I do combat to make it a little bit more spicy, most enemies have a berserk phase.
Okay.
And you've seen it before, especially when the rust monster turned into a butterfly, basically.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it it's weird how it kind of wiggles. Its head is buried into the sand, and its feet kind of wiggles as it um, um, burrows into the sand. You see gaps come out through um, the audience itself as they've never seen this happen before, and they're getting excited as you see this hole in the ground. You peer and look in; it's completely dark. You hear off into the distance one of the handlers. You hear an audible "shit," and that's its turn, and that's its berserk phase. It's completely gone.
Okay.
I need you to make a dexterity saving throw as you start to feel the ground underneath you begin to tremor, and you do have you notice it with your danger sense,
Okay.
so you have advantage on it.
Oh, that's not good. 7.
Ooh, yeah, that's
I got
definitely
I
not
got a
good.
5 and a 7.
Almost kind of like a Jaws, as this creature busts out through the ground. You're unable to like get out of the way in time as it makes it another bite attack
Yeah. Okay.
around your waist. Since yeah, you missed the DC, you take. I'm just gonna make it this. Yeah, you take 6 points of piercing. No, sorry, 9 points of piercing damage, and 2 points of poison damage, as you now are currently grappled.
Gotcha.
And the creature is going to. Yeah, that's all it's going to do. You are in the jaws of this creature. It's not going to do a death spin. So
Okay.
you hear the cheers of the crowds and almost like a couple screams from the female dragonkin as they're seeing this great action. And um, we're going to face the camera to back to Sadakoi. As you are yelling out these um, the name of Dib, and a smaller child comes up to you and say, "Are you looking for anyone, lady?" This female child.
I squat down to this female child and very kindly I say, uh, young one, do you understand my language?
It's the common language.
Then yes, I'm looking for someone.
Uh, when you make that whole, you see her expression was like happy, like she's doing a good deed, right? And you fucking crushed it in a split instance, and you see her eyes kind of will up in tears, and she just turns around and basically says, "Mommy."
I snatch her up before she turns and runs and says, "Mommy," or while she's saying "Mommy," and I say, "Tell ya, Mommy, I'm looking for Dib. If she's seen him, then I need to know." And I stand up and I keep pushing through the crowd, calling out after Dib.
At this point, she is bawling her eyes out. This turned out a lot better than planned. Are you doing anything else?
No, I'm going to continue to look for Dib. That is what she
Okay.
would do.
So right now, you were from the top. You made your way down. You notice that there is that high up, basically the VIP spot, and then you make it down towards the bottom of the arena. You hear the cheers. At this point, you hear the sound of gasps come out from the audience, and you feel a little bit of a tremor, but not too much. But you are very determined to find your minion. Casil, you're standing in front of this guard, and
Okay.
he's just like, You're not getting through."
Can I trace back to where the guys with the blue ponchos are coming from and go to where they're coming out of
Yeah,
with my plate in hand?
you see basically I'll say, yeah, you see kind of like a employees um area. It's in a weird language, but it basically says staff basically, but it's like in hieroglyphs on the walls and stuff like that.
All right, I'm just gonna walk right in there.
This kind of reminds me of like Disney's Hercules. I'm not gonna lie.
I love this dude. I'm having so much fucking fun.
I don't know. It just the picture just. Anyways, all right.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk right in like I own the place. Like, all right, yeah, I'm here.
You see a couple of the people. You see a female dragonkin goes. Who are you?
Hey, look,
But it
so
doesn't. It doesn't matter. Just put on your uniform and go take this plate up to seat 16. Now,
about
hurry, hurry,
that,
hurry.
my uniform, my
No, no,
uniform.
no, no, no. And at this
Work.
point, she's putting on this the poncho over your head and giving you the plate and goes, "You're late. Go, 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 go." And
I'm on it,
pushes
ma'am.
you out towards.
And I woof, go out. All right, I now have the blue poncho. I'm actually gonna go to seat 16. How far? Would I know how to get there?
Oh, it's basically the no, you wouldn't know. You don't
All right,
know
cool.
where seat 16 is.
I feel like the fucking Emperor's New Groove, like
She
Kronk and the fucking work in the diner.
she said VIP section though. So you have a good feeling that you have to get past that guard in since you have a good access point now.
I'm gonna go right back to that guard and say, "All right, man, I got this plate for seat 16."
He looks at you. Forgot your uniform.
It's my first day in the job, man. I'm sorry. I just need the fucking money.
He shakes his head and he lets you through the doors.
I'll give him the good old like 2 finger salute, like, "Hey, thanks, man," and I'm just gonna go up.
Okay, easy. So yeah, you see yourself familiar. Um, the familiar hallway, brand spanking new. You're heading down. Eventually, you follow the path with a couple of other individuals holding trays. Some of them are happily talking to each other as some other stuff. Eventually, another female Umra goes up to you and whispers you and says, "Oh man, this job actually is paying real nice, especially if we get the VIP spot.
I know.
But
Like,
there's been rumors going around that something's gonna happen."
you've heard them too?
Yeah.
What'd you
Um,
hear?
well, don't spread it too the rumors too much because it's also he said she said. But I heard there's going to be an assassination attempt on the king.
Ooh,
At this
that's what I
point,
heard also.
you open up the you go into the dining room, and you rememberize this dining room as where you killed those creatures, and you
Nice puppy.
see people eating, lavishing and eating and having a good time. Um, as you see different employees placing the trays next to the other ones, and it's weird because the tables are marked in a different language, but you're able to comprehend what it means, and eventually you find a seat, the table 16, and sitting there is a pudgy looking who would it be? A pudgy looking dragonkin, and he compares sizable to you. He's tall and fat and almost unable to move, disgusting. And you see a bunch of other trays around him. He's wearing noble garbs, but it's just a mess. Like he's been feeding forever. It's it's very unpleasant.
Do his jewelry or his necklaces and rings look like they're constricting him in any way?
Say again.
Does the jewelry or the rings and necklaces that he is wearing, like, are they too tight looking on him?
Yeah, it's yeah.
I'm gonna walk up with my tray and say, "Sir, your hors d'oeuvres are ready," and place the tray down in front of him.
You you weren't really paying attention. You were just of what he ordered. Um, but you see basically a bowl of these wiggly looking worms from it, and he goes, "Oh, my good ma'am, you got brought me the Wigglies."
Only the best for you, sir.
What's your name, lad?
My name's Omar. What's yours, friend?
Omar. Oh, I am Duke. I have a name. Hold up.
Duke. I like it.
Duke, I have a name. I've heard of that.
Shut up.
That's his name I'm writing down. Is Duke. I have a name, by the way.
Have to
Well.
name. A Duke have to name.
Oh, nice, nice. Duke have to name. That's what I call quality DM. Fucking, that's good.
I like it. I like it.
You know the best name I got from any of my players was Becca for now.
Man, I fucking
Yeah.
love that name.
That was a beautiful name. Because it worked. All right. Anyways, so you've been
Sir,
streaming on Twitch? I gotta get this. Is that what just
Yeah,
happened?
no, I had accidentally hit start streaming instead of start recording.
Hey.
So yeah. I'll just export it from Twitch and put it on YouTube from there. So the quality might have a little bit of a quality drop.
That's fine. That's
And
cool.
and it's on Obsidian's channel to boot because her stream key was punched into my profile's OBS.
Cool. We might actually have an audience that's just like, what the fuck is this?
Um,
Anyways.
D&D. What are these nerds fucking doing?
yeah, I have no idea if anyone's dropped in to say hi or anything like that because I obviously didn't have chat up. So
I thought you were streaming Assassin's Creed. What's this D&D bullshit?
yeah, pretty much.
Oh, anyways, if there's anyone in the channel right now, welcome.
It looks empty to me.
Okay, good. Anyways, yeah. So you're you're with Duke Name. He seems to be jolly, and he's telling you a story of he's just going on. Like it looks like he's alone because no one wants to be around him because of how probably filthy or he is. But he's just telling you a story about where he's from.
I'm gonna sit down and intensely listen to him.
Mhm. The the story that he's telling you, it's kind of like he's from the coast area, and he's saying remnants of basically Del Costa,
Ooh.
and but he's saying certain stuff that that aren't there, or that probably were there a long time ago. Like you knew there
Now,
was a giant port there, but that was years and years and years and years ago. Almost like, yeah.
now I'm not that smart, but how's my memory? Like, can I remember the things he's saying for like future reference? Like, oh wait, he said there's a temple on this fucking coast. Find these ruins. Got a bazillion GP.
No.
That's
your
that's kind of what I figured. Okay.
your memory is not that great. You might have a good like experience, but not memory. Your memory's not that good. Not with
That's all right.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Not with my barely sentient fucking intelligence. Duke, half the name. I
Yes,
do
my good lad.
notice. You seem to be kind of being constricted by your necklaces and your rings. Are they hurting you?
No, lad.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure. I don't want you to choke, because that's the last thing we do not want you to choke on any of this food here, or any of the necklaces just cutting off your breathing.
I'm fine, lad.
Good. So, how are you?
With that, we're going to transport to the fight.
We might need to do 2 turns on this because of the grapple.
Yes. So did its attack.
Yep.
And now it's your turn.
Okay. Constitution saving throw is.
Technically, you're in its mouth, so your
I'm not looking
eyes
at its
are
eyes.
avert.
Okay,
Yeah,
fair
you're
enough.
not looking at its eyes.
Fair enough. Okay. Athletics check to break the grapple. That would be a 14.
I will. I'll
It-
make it do a
It's
strength.
it's contested, so
Yep.
it's athletics as well.
What did you roll?
14.
Yeah, it rolled a 16.
Gotcha.
The dice roll was 16 and it has a plus 3 strength.
Gotcha.
Okay. Is there anything else you're gonna try to do?
The only thing I really can do is try and break the grapple, because grappling it sets your movement to 0 and you can't attack. So
you can attack. Your movement is set to 0. That's it. That's all grapple does. I know that for a fact.
if that was the case, then I'd probably just keep attacking. But
okay, you could. Yeah, I'll let retrospect that.
Yeah, my apologies.
That's okay.
And that didn't turn out too well. I've got a 13 to hit and an 8 to hit.
Yeah, you're kind of flailing about, but trying to hit it, but it's like you're hitting the blunt side of the axes on its face. It's getting a little bit annoyed.
Okay. So it's turn.
Yep, it's going to do a. It's going to slam. Say again?
I was just going to say I'm justifying this by saying that Gleok always tries the continuous attack approach first, and then, if it doesn't work, then he tries to break out.
Got it.
And, use his head.
That's fine. I get it. Sometimes the roll is. Yeah. It is going to. With you in its mouth, it's gonna do kind of like a rolling attack, but kind of smashes your sides to side. So I'm going to roll an attack. 15. So
15
20.
is
Yeah.
my AC exactly.
Okay. So I'm gonna roll 2 of these. That's gonna be 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
as it's smashing you from side to side, and then it slams you to the ground, releasing the grapple.
Okay.
Where did the music go?
That was surprisingly far less lethal than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I rolled 3d6s, but there they came back with the music. All right, we're going back to Gleerock. Your turn. You released you from your grapple, and it's staring right at you. So make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. 12.
12. You just make the DC. Lucky bastard.
Gotcha.
Again, every time the creature stares at you, it's just you feel like your muscles tense up.
Gotcha. Then I'll go for again a cross slash at the eyes.
Got it.
So 2 attacks. First attack is 12 to hit.
12 misses.
Okay. Second attack would be 24 to hit.
That hits.
And that'd be 5, I guess, plus 2 damage because of rage. So 7.
5 plus 2 is 7.
Yep.
Nice. You're going for the eyes, right? One of the eyes is at this point is badly bloodied, and it's closing its mouth, its eyes shut. So it has that one eye, and it's kind of its perception. It's not. It can't really perceive you that well, almost like a chicken with one eye, and it's just trying to look at you.
Gotcha. I'll try and stay on that side until I'm ready to attack.
Got it.
As it flails about.
Yeah, wouldn't it have been nice if Alton was here this whole time? He would probably be having a good time.
If only.
We need to kind of catch Farron up to pace.
Would anyone like to do that?
Sadako, you've kind of got the best narrative.
Yeah, I do be taking mad notes. So, about 3 hours story short, we are now in a, I don't want to say flashback, but we've been transported to the past in the sense of we are finding out the end game story of Unrock. We've all been teleported through the mural, and we have now assumed bodies in the past. We are not our own selves, although we retain stats, I would assume. And we are watching. This is obviously this is meta knowledge, but we are watching Gliok fight a basilisk in the arena. Unrock is in his throne next to his the love of his life, Shino, and Cassell has found out that also he's assumed the role of the waitstaff. Apparently, he's fucking James Bond now. Anyway, and he has found out that there is an assassination plot tonight. So the purpose of us being transported into this painting, a la Mario 64 style, is to find out what happened to the end of Unrock's legacy.
Specifically, who poisoned him? Because the ghost, his shade or ghost is rather curious as to who so cowardly pulled off such a stunt. And here we are.
Alrighty. That makes me mad that I missed the last 3 hours of this, but well, at least I'm here now.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's not your fault, just work being work, but I don't want to get into it.
Got it. All right. So where do we have the camera?
We have the camera on the people who are not in combat.
Got it. So we're gonna go shift to we're shifting to Farron. Farron, as your eyes become clear, you're blinking and you're hearing the sound of different um of cheers off far to the distance. And you feel the heat of the desert. Um and you look up and you look to be outside of this outside in the desert, and you're looking around and you see a bunch of people kind of almost funneling in into this pyramid like ziggurat. And you look and you see the floor is not really covered in there's a little bit of sand, but it looks like it's well kept. And it appears to be you're at the top half of the what's it called, um basically ground level, and you see the ziggurat off into the distance, and you see a bunch of these statuettes of different dragonkin and stuff like that. And you feel a small breeze, and as you look down on your hands, you look to have skin, like pure skin of a kind of a tan nature, and you are wrapped in these kind of like desert garbs, and you're confused. And you see a couple of these dragonkin kind of look at you for a split second, then turn away and kind of almost ignoring you, like but also feel them whispering, uh, like saying, "Oh, that's a human. I haven't seen one of those before." And you're able to understand their language.
Okay. I do my best not to go into full panic mode, but I just start feeling everywhere, just feeling nothing but skin instead of scales. I start
Mhm.
like feeling my teeth and just. But then I realize everybody's just kind of looking at me, and I just kind of try and stop and contain myself.
Okay. Make an investigation check as you're kind of feeling around.
All of our stats are still normal.
Yes.
13.
13. As you're feeling around, you feel you have a short sword or whatever weapon you're carrying. But it's not the same, of course. It looks different. It has a different architect what is it called? Like
Crafting.
crafting. Thank you. It has a different crafting to it, and you notice the difference because you're well versed inside weapons since you're a fighter. Um, you're looking around, and then you find a uh, a note inside one of your satchels, and it says basically stop the. It says in almost in like a red ink or blood maybe, and it says stop the assassination attempt. You feel a giant hand clasp on your back, and you see this drag a black dragonborn. He's a little bit taller than you, and he gets close to your ears and says, "Bran, you got my message?" And he gives a toothy grin. Cutting back to who would have been? I should have did initiative. It would have been Sadakoi. Yes, Sadakoi. You are currently below. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw as you are screaming for Dib.
20 total.
20?
Total.
Oh. You feel a sharp pain come from the back of your head. Almost as you're feeling like a shift from your mind switches places. And give me a second. High or low?
I'm gonna say low, but I just want you to know I'm having a lot of fun.
So am I. This is great. Oh, nice. As you feel like something wasn't right, as you finally yell out Dib, and you take a quick glance about yourself, and you're like, "Oh, that's right, I remember."
Oh shit! I'm in the painting. I know I'm in the mural. Fucking. Oh my
And
god! I'm a chick. What the hell?
you remember the actions you were taking too.
Okay.
And you have
I
like,
look.
okay, keep on going. Sorry.
I look and I try to find
Try to find Casil.
Yeah.
You remember that he went back to where you came. And at this point, as you turn around, are you heading towards that way?
No, I'm just looking to see if I can see him in the crowd.
Yeah, you don't see him in the crowd. Right now, you're kind of like in the area in between, almost like the railing to the arena itself. And you see the crowd as you turn around, looking around, you see just a crowd of these dragonkin.
Then I start walking back towards the last place I see him. Do I walk past the little girl who
Yeah. Actually, no, you don't see her as you kind of see it's too crowded. You don't see the child.
Okay, then I start making my way towards where I saw Cassell last.
Okay. All right. At this point, you hear the crowd kind of give a sound as they see the creature slam the participant inside of the arena.
I look down in the arena, and for meta's sake,
You have a feeling. You have a feeling you recognize this individual, but you can't put your tongue on it.
I say under my breath, fuck, 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 and just walk towards where Cassell.
Can you put a finger on it? I don't know. Can you?
I don't
Casil, you are enjoying a little break, quote unquote, with your good friend Duke Halftename. And off the corner of your eye, you see another female dragonkin, but this one, she's dressed in a noble garb. She has long white hair and almost the same as the um what's her name? Shion, almost the same haircut as Shion, long white hair. Uh, one of her ear horns is actually the tips are broken off. They come to a point, but very unladylike, gorging on the food. Almost like to the point where because the Duke is actually like a little bit messy, right? But it looks like he's been eating a lot for a long period of time. This individual is gorging on the food, like just shoveling foods in her mouth, and it looks like maybe her husband uh, or butler is trying to like stop, and then you could hear him say, Duchess, don't stop. What are you doing? Stop. And you, she's trying to do, as he's doing that, she looks at him and makes a weird hissing sound. And this person seems familiar to you. You can't.
Oh my fucking god. Oh. Oh, I'm so happy right now. Okay. Um, excuse me, Sir Duke. I will be right back real fast.
Ah,
Just hold on one quick second.
no problem, lad. And he gives a smile, like, and he kind of whispers to himself, like hoping there was someone next to him. He's like, he's a good, and he says, "Oh, that's fine, lad, there." And he realizes no one's there, and he gets a little sad.
Oh.
But as you walk away, are you heading towards the table?
Yes, I am.
At this point, this gentleman, this he's in a decent, almost like commoner robes, but it looks like he has a pin of a rose on it, on his like what would we call it?
Lapel.
Uh, is it a lapel?
A lapel would be like
Where you pin
a
a
shirt
rose.
collar,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Lynn just said that too, right in my ear.
or if you're figuring like a clasp of a cloak.
Yeah, like a clasp of a cloak. Cone looks like he's wearing a toga, but it's nice. You get anybody who looks like he's like the servant, and he looks at you approaching, and he goes, "Do you have anything for?" And he's kind of, his voice is kind of breaking as he's kind of adjusting himself, and he's like, the Duchess." And you hear the sound of someone gorging and going, like eating a bunch of food.
I've seen this before in the past. I can handle this real fast. Just let me quick talk to her. I'll be very fast.
He make a make a persuasion check
Ooh.
with advantage
Ooh.
because he looks desperate.
All right, that's gonna be natural 16 plus persuasion,
Yes.
so 18.
Oh, good. He looks at you and he kneels down towards you. He's a little bit taller than you. Says, "Please help."
I put my hand on his
And like,
shoulder. I got you.
yes. Thank you, sir. And he kind of like makes it to where you could pass.
I'm gonna sit down, kind of, or like, kind of stand near the quote unquote female Duchess eating food, and whisper into her ear, "Dip, Dip. Sadakoi is downstairs looking for you. We're in a
Uh,
painting."
Dib with a food in his mouth, his jaw drops a little bit, and as food just falls down onto the table, he goes, he looks at you and goes, "Cassell?"
Yeah,
And
it's me, Cassell.
it's a weird voice too because it's deep, but it also has a feminine type to it. So it's kind of hard to differentiate. You're like, is it really Dip? No, it's definitely Dip.
Yeah, yeah.
Where's the boss?
He's downstairs.
And he looks down at his food.
Trust me.
Looks down.
When you find him, you can both come up here and gorge yourselves. He's looking for you, though.
He looks down at his food. He looks back at you. Looks down at his food.
You can
And
take the tray with you.
he gives a huge toothy grin. It's weird looking at this. She's attractive, but it's like, you know,
Yeah.
yeah. And so he picks up the tray with that half-eaten food left on it, and then he kind of walks off in his normal goblin way, and you hear the butler or the servant goes, Duchess, Duchess, as he's walking by in a hastily manner, as he just Dib doesn't give a fuck. He's just walking through past everyone.
Just a little goblin waddle.
Yeah, it's like a goblin waddle, but it's
Just
like
flat-footed, like feet slapping on the
yes,
ground.
exactly.
Like, oh
Um,
god,
Like
I
all
fucking love
all
this.
from the knees as he's stepping.
mhm, yep. Uh, so back to Gleerock.
Okay. Where are we at?
This blinded creature is going to its turn. I know it's its turn. It's going to try to make a bite attack at you.
Okay.
Go ahead and make a strength saving throw, because this is going to get interesting.
21.
Perfect. Yeah. So it does make its bite attack, and it doesn't grapple you.
Okay.
You take 10 points of 13 points of piercing damage and 6 points of poison damage. And it looks like it was gonna bite you, and you feel the flesh tear um tear from your skin as it was trying to grapple you and pull you towards the hole in the ground.
Okay.
You're up.
I'm basically going to use the opportunity to do a double slash at the other eye.
Okay.
I've got first attack is a 15 to hit.
That will hit.
Second attack is a 23.
Yeah, both of them hit. You just barely hit with the first attack.
And still raging, that means I've got, let's see, 7 plus 2 on dice. It'd be 9 plus 6 for the first attack. It'd be 15 plus another 2 for the second attack. Would be 17 damage.
17 damage?
Yes.
Yeah. How do you want to describe defeating this creature?
Well, assuming I got the other eye on the last turn, basically just one slash spin and another slash taking out the eye, and as he came back to chomp down on me, I basically spin the other way with both axes and feeling its weight just kind of drop on the final hit. I just leave the axe lodged in its eye.
Perfect.
As
goes
it just drops in front of me.
nice. Perfect. As so it does. You hear a long and then the roars pick up as everyone's cheering off in the background, and you hear a chant coming from the crowd, and it's saying rock glee, rock glee, rock glee, rock glee, and it's just picking up, picking up, picking up, picking up, and as they're cheering and stuff like that, you see off into the distance, you see the I think you would like that. You off into the distance, you see the emperor stand up, and with a goblet in his hand, he lifts up and says, and everyone goes silent at this point as they hear him kind of stand up and kind of clear his throat, and you see the advisor kind of point his staff a little towards his way, and you see him kind of do a sigil in the air, and you hear the voice of the emperor booming throughout the whole arena. It says, "Here's to the champion, Rockley!" And he downs his goblet of ale, wine. You're not 100% sure what it is, and you hear the crowd just cheering and chanting this um, the chant. And as he finishes his drink, he goes, "We can't wait to see you on the next. We can't wait to see your next." And it looks like he's in distress, and you see a concerned look towards his towards the female, and also to the advisor for a second, and he leans over, and you see just red ichor coming out from every side of his orifices, his ears, his mouth, his eyes, and you see horror stricken as you hear this scream coming from uh, everyone around them, and as the crowd goes silent and then a loud scream echoes throughout the building, this is where we're going to stop for this week.
No.
Fuck.
Sorry, guys, I killed the boss too fast.
Yeah.
Two turns up, man.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah, it's already almost one. So,
Wrap up.
and I'm trying to get this. So let's do a quick thank you all for listening. This has been Gears of Erathis. My players who just joined late, go ahead and introduce your character. Farron? I hope he's there. Did he go AFK?
He might have.
Oh, fuck. He's going to be so upset. Anyways, our late player.
Sorry, guys, I'll be right back.
You sure? Okay. He just left. But our player that just showed up, Farron, he is a Dragonborn fighter. He has to always come in late because he has work issues, as you guys heard. Let's go down the line. Casil, go ahead and do a little outro.
Holy shit.
Quick.
I'm in love with this. I'm in love with this. I'm having fun. Bye.
Gleerock.
Yeah, I'm Murkrai, and you've just witnessed Gleeok the Terrible living up to his perception of his name. If you look at past or probably future sessions, you'll most definitely eventually encounter him living up to the other interpretations of his name.
Alrighty. Sadakoi.
Why the hell does it seem like he has such a weird persona? Why does he keep switching between person to person? Why is he so obsessed with Dib? Who knows?
Who knows? Until next time, have a great night.